This is our marketplace diagram. These are the vendors that we cover in our WCM research circa 2016. There's a lot of ways to slice and dice the marketplace, including by geography, by license type, by delivery model, so on and so forth. In a two-dimensional rendering like this, we tend to think that complexity is the best measure. Now, using our interactive tools, you can slice and dice the market all kinds of different ways and generate your own research reports and your own charts and PowerPoints. But if we're just going to look at this as a flat two-dimensional, almost, screen here, we think the best way to understand the marketplace is on a complexity spectrum, where on the far left, you have the most complex, expensive, and feature-rich and extensible platforms. And then on the far right, you have simpler, more readily deployable, often, very readily multi-tenant type solutions. And then there's a whole spectrum of everything in between. The lower left is what we call legacy platforms. Those are tools that used to be big, really from big vendors that are kind of slipping out of the marketplace. And we like to say these are tools more that you leave than you actually buy. But you can see here, we put this red line in between, kind of dividing products versus platforms. And the general advice that we give to people is that anything to the left in the platform area, you better have at least one, ideally two, in-house developers who are trained and certified on the platform. On the products, you can often get away through browser-based configurations or turning to the occasional sort of outside consultant. But what we're seeing here, as digital demands become more intense, we're seeing the platforms start to become a little bit more, we're seeing all the products start to sort of move, I'll say, shift left a little bit, and this line of where you need a developer, we think in 2017 is going to actually move to the right, so that these products are going to become more developer intensive. Even with WordPress now, you really need to have somebody who's kind of expert in the platform if you're going to do agile type adjustments and marketing. And so I'm guessing that early next year we're probably going to start calling these lower end platforms. So we're talking about a lot of platforms here, fewer out of the box products. This has a lot of implications for you, including making sure that you have the capabilities, at least some in-house, to be able to modify those platforms to adjust to what your constituents need. The other thing that I think we'll see happen in 2017 in this regard is that the legacy platforms are having so much innovation. The legacy platforms are really having trouble keeping up. So if you look in the lower left there, I have a feeling in some of these cases we may even stop covering them. I mean, it's useful to know their pros and cons if they're already an incumbent vendor with you, but they're really falling out of the marketplace. The bottom line here is that it's really important to sort of understand what your own capabilities are. And so you can use our RealScore benchmarking tool, which you can try out for free on our site, to actually sort of score yourself and sort of say, okay, well, where am I in terms of my overall capacity to execute on this stuff? And then that might help you as well. But then always remember that there's no single best tool or best category for you, that you really want to take your own requirements, your own geography, most importantly, the use cases, your tolerance for risk, and other strategic intangibles. And again, you can use our tool to help out there. It's called Real Quadrant. So it's not a static quadrant, but actually deliver a dynamic quadrant for you.